everybody, how y'all doing? Pretty good here, and welcome to the channel. Hey, we're going to do an exciting video today. I've been thinking about doing this one for a while. I'm going to go over a few things, maybe 8, 9 things that you may not have known about your Tacoma. These are amazing things, cool things. Anyway, stay tuned. I'm going to show you that stuff. Don't forget to go down below. Here. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Here we go. Okay, the first amazing thing. It's the paint on the doors. I get questions on the channel all the time. Does my truck have that funny looking paint on the doors? It looks kind of ripply, kind of warped, like it wasn't done right. And what I'm talking about is this paint right here. You guys can hopefully get a good look at that. You see how it looks kind of different. Up here it's nice and smooth. Down here it looks kind of rough almost. Well, I'm here to tell you that is normal. It is, I believe, extra protection down there for the paint. They do it that way intentionally. So when you look at your truck and you first notice that, nothing wrong with it. They're all that way. Now, the next thing we're going to take a look at is the gas cap up here. I see complaints all the time. People say, you know, I take my cap out and there's nowhere to put it. It just dangles down. You know, it hits the thing. There are even people that sell things that you can stick them in or whatever. But I'm here to tell you, this little clasp has a function. And you notice this little jigger-jawed thing here on the cord. Well, if you take your cap like so and stretch it out, there you go. That holds your gas cap. Now, I don't know if Toyota did that intentionally or if it just happened to work out that way, but it works perfectly. Let me show you that one more time. It's pretty easy, right? Take your cap off. You don't have to let it dangle to do this, you know? You just remove it, stretch it right across there, and let it sit. That's all you've got to do. And it works perfectly. You don't need to go out and buy some kind of thing or device or whatever to drill or stick in there, or I don't know. You just use the clasp that's already there. How about that, huh? Okay, the next one, we're outside right now in the sunlight, so it shines in on the bed. And this has to do with the bed. This actually changed in 2019. And I'm not quite sure yet. We will see whether it comes back for 2020 or not. And that is the cubby holes in the back bed of this truck. You may notice here, I have one over here on the driver's side, which I've put locks in. And I have one over here on the passenger side next to the power outlet. Now, for 2019, this one, this doored cover, is gone. There is no cubby like that for 2019. Why? I'm not exactly sure. Some say that it's in preparation for changes that they're making for the 2020. I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting to find out if it does indeed come back for 2020. I'm not exactly sure. All right, the next thing has to do with the tailgate. I recently did a video on how to deter or maybe lessen the chances of somebody stealing your tailgate, because it is so simple to do. That's not what this is. This is that indeed, along those lines, the tailgate in these trucks is still removable. It's actually very simple to do. All you have to do is remove these two clips. They just push up and out. There's one there on the driver's side, and there's one here on the passenger side. And then all you have to do, and you look right down here, you could see it's actually slotted down here. I have my little theft deterrent device on here, but it is slotted here, and all you do is pull the tailgate up like about right there, and then you can just pull this whole thing right out and run away with it. It pulls up and out on that little pivot, and on this pivot down here, it just pulls out towards the passenger side. Takes about 15 seconds, and you won't have a tailgate on the back of your truck anymore. Still removable. All right, the next thing has to deal with the badges on the truck. Now this is kind of a polarizing thing, I think. Some people like badges, some people don't like badges. Me, I lean towards the I don't like badges. I still have the Tacoma badging on the truck, only because it's blacked out. If it were chrome, it would be gone. But let's take a look at what I'm talking about. These badges are just held on by double-sided tape. There's two ways to get them off. Leave it sit out in the sun, and then run something behind here real thin, like fishing line or an old thin rag, which is what I've been using lately, and then remove the rest of the glue. The other is to use a hairdryer, heat up the glue, not too hot, because you don't want to burn your paint, but heat it up so it becomes pliable, and then you can just pull these off. It's very simple to do. Now, one thing that you always have to be aware of, and this is where it comes in for the Tacoma, is are these badges pinned? Now, what I mean by that, some models actually have holes in the metal for a pin that's in the back of the badge to fit through to locate it on the truck. The last thing you want to do is pull this thing off and find out you've now got two holes exposed in your metal, because even though I'm not a big fan of badging, I'm even less of a fan of having two holes showing through the side of the metal on my doors. So you have to be wary of that. However, I'm here to tell you the Tacoma badging in the front and also in the back on the tailgate, if you've left that on there, is not pinned. There are no pins. So you don't have to worry if you're going to pull those badges off that you're going to have holes left over. And man, what a drag that would be. Okay, this next one is going to take us under the truck. And it has to do with the side steps that you can see here. These are the Predator side steps, by the way. But a big question that I had, I bought trucks, as I'm sure many have, they didn't come with side steps. So what do you have to do to put them on? You know, are there holes under there? Do you have to drill? Well, that would suck. Let's take a look underneath. Bring you guys with me here. Make sure I don't hit my head as I normally would. Now, let's take a look. You can see where they're fastened right up here, where the part number is, by the way, if you're interested in these. There is a bolt there, and there is a couple of bolts. There's actually 2 bolts per bracket, but there are 2 bolts here, and there are 2 bolts here. Now, I've put side steps on a couple of different Tacomas, and I'm here to tell you they do come with threaded holes for those side steps. So you don't have to worry that you're going to have to drill or any of that kind of stuff. Now, I will let you know that I think both that I've done did have plugs in those holes. When I say plugs, they were like a plastic screw-in cap, if you will, probably to protect the threading. And you just have to get underneath there. It's a long slot. Stick your screwdriver in it. They screw right out. Again, they're just plastic, and I think they're in there to protect the holes. But they are threaded, so as long as you get the right side steps, or at least ones that have brackets that fit your hole pattern or hole setup on the bottom of the truck, you're golden. You're good to go. No drilling. All right, 2 more things left. For this next one, we got to go to the bed. Let's go around there. Open this thing up. Now, one thing that I learned, the Toyota Tacoma has a composite bed. That's right, this is not a liner. This is the bed. And I say that because when I first got one of these, I didn't realize that. I thought this was a liner until I was underneath doing something and saw that this is the bed. It is a composite plastic. I will say this is my, I think, 4th Tacoma. And while I've not hauled a lot of stuff in this one, I did in the other ones. And I never had any issues. It will scratch, that's for sure. But it's not going to chip like paint will unless you really get on it. But even if it does, it's not going to be exposed metal. And I do much prefer it. I think that all trucks should come with this these days. But anyway, it is a plastic bed. And also of note, it was brought to my attention that there is no longer a front bed rail up here, like there are on the sides that you can put these cleats in or other devices to tie things down or whatever. There is no longer one in the front in at least the 2018 Tacoma. I don't know if that'll come back or not, but it's missing here. Okay, the final thing that you may not have known about your Tacoma is sitting right now in the bed of the truck. So we're going to open it up and expose the biggest, most amazing thing about the Toyota Tacoma. There you go. They're sitting right there. And what these are 10 millimeter, you can see right there, 10 millimeter sockets. Now, why are these the most amazing thing about the Toyota Tacoma? Well, it's really quite simple. I have found over the years, having this truck and doing mods, particularly on this truck, that almost everything that you do requires a 10 millimeter socket. I swear, you could pretty much disassemble this entire truck if all you had were your hands, a ratchet, and a 10 millimeter socket. Now, you'll notice there are two sitting down here, and I would recommend that if you're going to get a Tacoma and you're doing anything with mods, or not, maybe even simple maintenance, you should definitely have a ratchet and a deep well and a regular 10 millimeter socket, because you use them on everything. Pretty cool. Anyway, I just wanted to get on here, go over a list of a few things that you may not have known about the Tacoma. Some of these things I didn't know myself until I had one. Specifically, that composite bed. I was really kind of surprised, if not even worried, when I discovered that. Along with that little paint treatment on the sides of the doors. When I first saw it, I thought, oh God, they screwed up the paint. I'm gonna have to go back. They're gonna have to repaint the truck. I'm gonna have to screw with that. I don't wanna do that. But after doing some of my own research, I discovered that indeed, it's normal. As usual, appreciate you guys watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time on the web. Have a great day. Bye.